What's going on, Bears fans? How are you doing today? Well, I can tell you one thing. I know I'm not feeling good. In a game that should have been Justin Fields' welcome back game with the W, the Chicago Bears lose to the Detroit Lions by a final score of 31-26. Now, this game, the Bears pretty much controlled throughout. But of course, things just can't be good for our Bears. Because this game, I'm telling you, it should have been a blowout. I mean, getting multiple turnovers by our defense, offense running the ball well, throwing the ball well. What happened? Well, one thing, as I've always said, the Chicago Bears are going to give up some penalties. It's just one of those things that we just can't seem to get over. We can't get over the hump. When it comes to penalties, we just suck. There's no other way to say it, Bears fans. We suck. These penalties are just drive killers. They are just not good. Matt Eberflus, our head coach. Luke Getsy, offensive coordinator. Why? Why do we get so much penalties against us? I just don't understand it. I mean, you would think that by the 11th game of the season, we would be working towards cleaning up penalties as a team. But no. It's just one of those things, I believe, Bears fans, that at the end of this season, our general manager, our GM, Mr. Ryan Poles, he's going to have to make a very, very tough decision that is going to impact this team for a long time. And I do mean a long time because in my opinion, we are just going to have to start over with a coaching staff because this was horrible. It was horrible yet again. This reminds me of the Tampa game so bad, except we played well. How does this happen? Well, Bears fans, let's go ahead and get into it because I know you watched the game. We were excited. We definitely thought this was going to be a win. But of course, we folded. Now, starting off this game, hey, defense and offense look great. I can't really say much to it. Everybody's playing, and all of our starters were playing in this game. So you would expect our best offensive line, our best defensive players back on the field. Everything should be clicking. And so in the beginning, everything looked good. Luke Getsy actually calling very good plays. But you could tell that he was just not going to let this offense prosper. I mean, some of the calls, if after a while, Bears fans, if you can't run the ball with Khalil Herbert, you know Anothah Foreman is hurt, dude, it's Roshan time. Roshan time, got to get it going. But we tried to run Foreman. He did well for a little while before he got hurt. And Herbert had some decent runs late in the game. Early in the game, he was getting stuff behind the line of scrimmage. Like, everybody knew it. They knew that we were going to hand the ball to Herbert. In this game, I got to say, that first part, the first half really, where was the play action? Where was it? How are you going to get a Detroit defense, which I said, these are two comparable teams when healthy, and look at what happened. Our run defense against their run offense. Our run offense against their run defense. Hey, Bears fans, we did everything right to start the game. Now, before we get going, make sure that you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel because listen, we're growing and we're hitting all of our numbers. Added just 6 new subscribers since yesterday. So hey, we're growing and we appreciate you coming along for the ride. So continue on, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, because hey, we're going to do it and we're going to do it big. Now, to continue on with the Bears, that first quarter, everything was looking good. We're getting decent runs. We're getting great play from Justin Fields. And hey, you can feel the energy that our Bears were bringing. Now, of course, there's not everything going to go perfect, but we were running the football very well. As a matter of fact, I do believe Roschon, Foreman, and Herbert all got running plays in the first quarter and the second quarter. Now, whether or not Luke Gessie was just trying to find out who had a hot hand at the time, I'm not sure. But when you have Foreman, who was, running the ball and getting up and wincing each time, right then and there, you should have went to Roschon and said, hey, you're going to have to get a heavy load than what we planned. Plain and simple. But, hey, everything was rolling. Started off the game, get a touchdown early. Defense was looking good. There's no reason to believe that Eberflus or Gessie were going to go back to their old ways in the fourth quarter, right? Now, to say that our offense was bad, it was not. I can't say that. We definitely were doing what we needed to do, but in that first half, our defense seemed like they were just ready to roll. Now, interception by TJ Edwards, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, I gotta say, TJ Edwards has been our best linebacker year to date. Absolutely. That guy, he needs a raise. I'm gonna say that right now. But Tremaine Edmonds, he had some good plays. And of course, Jack Sanborn doing what Jack the Sandman Sanborn always does. When he's in there, he's making plays. Now, I also got to give a shout out to Mr. Tyreek Stevenson. Now, that guy played a very good game. I don't believe he got a penalty in the first half. And he just was hitting. He was one of the better hitters for us in that first half. And like I said, things were looking well. And then the defense turned up. Like I say, TJ Edwards, he got the interception, started things off for us. And then, hey, that front four of our defense, they started getting the pressure. And look, I know I said I gave a salute to our linebackers, played a very good game, but our front four, man, they did a very good job for us. Jared Goff was under pressure for most of the game, whether it was Montez Sweat, Yannick Ngakoue, or even Jervon Dexter was getting in there. Was that number 95? His name escapes me right now. But we played a very good game. And let me say this, Justin Jones, once again, getting pressure up the middle. And that's what we've been looking for as a team. That first half, that front four was getting after it. Pressure on Jared Goff, like I said, and then slowing down the run game of the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately for us, as I've said before, we have to play 4 quarters football. And in order to play 4 quarters football, we have to stop the run. Now, this is a theme that's going to come back here in a little bit, but believe me, you saw it. It was horrible. Now, Justin Fields, and that offense, that first half, everything, like I say, was looking good. Looking like a very competent offense. Play calling was there. Running the football, like I've said before, we needed to do. We were doing it. Unfortunately, not everyone came to play the same game with JF1. First off, a drop pass and a fumble by Tyler Scott. That was the omen of things to come. I mean, it was just one of those moments where if it was the fourth quarter, you would say that's the momentum change. But this was in the first half, and it just seemed like, you know, it was just one little mistake, but you kind of realize that it's the Chicago Bears. So that just gets the ball rolling toward more penalties, more hiccups. And yes, I do believe that was the time that we started to unravel a little bit. Now, of course, injuries. Why, oh why, can't the Bears stay healthy? In that first half, Lucas Patrick, our center, playing good ball, got hurt. Now, I would say he got hit. And once he got hit, and I do believe that was a late hit, and really it was an illegal block in the back from a defenseless player. But of course, the Chicago Bears hardly ever get penalty flags. And Lucas Patrick, even though he got up, you could tell he looked a little stiff walking back to the huddle, and he had one more play in him, and then Dan Feeney came in. And Dan Feeney, I don't know if they've been letting him get snaps at center, but you can tell he did not know what was going on. Trying to get that rhythm right off the bat just wasn't going to happen. A couple of play clock violations and a couple bad snaps, I got to say as well. High snaps going back to JF1. Now, blocking wise, he did a great job. Now, granted, Lucas Patrick is our starting center, but I can't believe that they're not giving this guy some reps during practice at any point. He should be fresh to go in, but he looked pretty stiff to get things going, and some of the things he was doing on the line, calling out the protection plays and the I don't know what that was all about with the head shake. It just looked kind of weird to me, but you know, it's one of those things that I know the starters need their reps, but at this point, our backups need as many reps as possible. Also, Braxton Jones. Why did he get pulled from the game? On one series, it looked like he got told to leave. I don't know if it was a concussion type protocol or whatnot, but the refs told him he had to go out. So, not sure what happened there. And then, of course, Larry Borom comes in, gets blown up right away. I mean, he got blown up pretty quick. And I was just like, we are in trouble. In this 2024 draft, it is an offensive type of draft, ladies and gentlemen. So, GM Ryan Poles, please focus. I know our defense need help. Absolutely, I do. But offensive-wise, we need help also. And let me say this. Mr. Nate Davis, who continues to miss games, then comes back, plays all right, but gives up. I don't understand you, sir, but I need you to get healthy. Drink some ginseng or something. I don't know what y'all need out there in the football field, but this is something that's got to change, ladies and gentlemen, because he plays decent for a little while, and then Nate Davis just says, you know what, I need to take a play off. And that is when bad things happen. So Tevin played a good game. Darnell, up until the fourth, played a good game. So, I mean, it was just one of those things. Once again, penalties, injuries, stopping us. I mean, just plain stopping us. Now, Bears fans, we also got to give our salute to, as I said, our defensive line playing very well. Montez Sweat got his first sack today as a member of the Chicago Bears. And let me tell you something. This dude has put pressure every game he has been in a Bears uniform. And you got to love it. You got to love it. A great signing by Ryan Poles. So kudos to you, Ryan. You can get the free agents sometimes. just not on offense. But you can find some gems when you need to. Now, like I said, Bears fans, we played a pretty good game, especially to me in that first half. I mean, going into the half, I do believe it was, 14-10, Detroit. But with Montez Sweat getting a sack, getting Tremaine Edmonds, getting an interception, his second on the year, I believe. TJ Edwards with his interception, and then Tyreek Stevenson with an interception. I mean, 3 turnovers. Hey, that's something else, Bears fans. Bears fans, that second half, number 1 to number 2 got us our 6. DJ Moore, Justin Fields, man, that was an electric play that seemed like, hey, maybe the tides are going to change for our Chicago Bears. Great, when I say, I believe it was a 38-yard touchdown pass. The offensive line held up very well, I believe, on that. And it just looked good. And I know I was hyped up and everything, ready to get on Twitter X so we can talk stuff online. But, I knew it was going to be short-lived. It had to be short-lived because we play 4 quarters of football, as I always say. And let me tell you something. That fourth quarter couldn't have been worse. Not as far as play calling, well, a little bit, but as far as the players, everything went well. And the major thing, the one thing that you can take away from that was the offense led a 14 play, 75 yards, I believe it was, series that took 8 minutes off the clock. 8 minutes. And this is the fourth quarter now. We had a drive that was 8 minutes long. Justin Fields running the ball, getting first downs. Khalil Herbert running the ball, getting first downs. Roschon Johnson running the ball, getting first downs. And if I remember correctly, good play by Darnell Mooney to get us a first down. It was a thing of beauty. But, as I said on Twitter, we just left too much time on the play card, on the time. It was just one of those forebodings, I guess, Bears fans. We do not have the killer instinct. Because when I tell you, how do we get the ball back and we run the football, yet we run it to the left again, and it's like the defense knew what we were doing. I do believe we had a couple of plays where Herbert was running to the left and got hit at the line of scrimmage or like 2 yards behind it. Come on now. When we need to be aggressive, and once again, Bears fans, you all know as well as I do, that fourth quarter is the Chicago Bears' Achilles heel. We get so conservative in the fourth quarter. I don't know. We need to pull the whole coaching staff at the end of the third and go sit them down and let the new coaching staff come in. I don't understand it. But granted, we left, 4 minutes left in the game. 4 minutes. And the Detroit Lions score, if I remember correctly, 17 points in 3 minutes. Now, granted, Darnell Wright got beat on the last series with 30 seconds or so left, 29 seconds left in the game, and gets the strip sack, and Darnell Wright kicks the ball out of the end zone, and they get a safety. I mean, it was just unbelievable. But I got to say, Bears fans, our defense pretty much did their thing, but of course, Matt Eberflus, what did he do? Prevent defense, zone defense, however you want to call it. He was not aggressive. Well, I take that back. He was a little bit aggressive. Blitzing the linebackers a little bit in the third quarter. Fourth quarter comes around, 1 or 2 blitzes, but it wasn't that last play, that last series by Detroit, where they just pretty much just walked right down the field, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. Bears got to do something. We have to learn to be aggressive for 4 straight quarters until the clock strikes 0 in the 4th quarter. We have to do it. I don't know what else to say, Bears fans. It was just, you knew it was coming. You knew it. The Bears just had to give up that game for whatever reason. And a game in which Montgomery, our former running back, you knew he wanted the game. And he got 3 run plays where he got over 12 yards. 12 yards. Got him a first down. And just, he was playing. He was playing for the win. Whereas our coaching staff was playing, hoping not to lose. It was not how you played the game of football. And for me, I'm just speaking for me, we have to get rid of this coaching staff. Now, I said before, Getsy, he has to go. There's no changing that in my mind. He has to go. Now, as far as Matt Eberflus, has the defense playing much better, but what are we doing in the 4th quarter, though? Zone. You know that teams pick us apart when we go to zone. They pick us apart. And that's exactly what Detroit did. Unbelievable, Bears fans. But look, in a game where Justin Fields came back, 16 of 23 for 169 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 sacks. But on the ground, 18 rushes for 104 yards. Very good on the ground. That's the Justin Fields that we know and love. But of course, it just wasn't meant to be. Khalil Herbert, 16 rushes for 35 yards. Not going to win many games like that. But like I said, Detroit, for quite a bit of the game, they loaded 8 guys into the box. They knew we were going to run. They said, you're going to have to beat us by throwing the football. And they took that bet that they took was right on point, because Luke Getsy, he after a couple good throws down the field, he started dialing it back and bringing it in, I guess. I don't know what to say. It wasn't good. But DJ Moore, finally, 7 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown from Fields. Great game by him. Great game. Now, didn't get his 100 yards, but he was pretty darn close. Cole Kmet, only 3 catches for 20 yards. Darnell Mooney, 1 catch for 24 yards. How are we gonna push down the field with just a DJ Moore? Now, granted, it worked against the Washington Commanders, but in this game, it wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. Cole Kmet, I know we ran a lot of double tight end sets, like I said we needed to do, but we also had 3 tight ends out there at once in that second half, trying to run the football to run down the clock. And like I said, we had an 8-minute drive. Bam. Love it. Unfortunately, we left too much time on the clock for Detroit. Now, Jared Goff, like I said, 3 interceptions, but ended up throwing 2 touchdowns and, looking like Jared Goff. He was 23 of 35. Like I said, 236 yards. So, and most of those yards, I do believe, came in the second half. So, can't be mad at it. David Montgomery, 12 rushes for 76 yards and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 8 rushes for 36 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Bears fans, whew, what are we going to do? What are we going to do, Bears fans? We can't keep having games like this where in the 4th quarter we become pansies. We're just laying down. It don't make sense. So, I don't know, Bears fans. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm going to get up out of here and I'm going to, who knows, stare out the window for a little while. But look, once again, thank you to all the subscribers out there. Thank you for those 106 now subscribers. We love you. And listen, we're going to hang in there. The Chicago Bears are our team. And eventually, we're going to start winning. Don't know when. Should have been today, but it didn't. So with that, I'm going to get up out of here. And as always, Bears fans, Peace.